Hello everyone, and welcome. And today, we're going to unearth a fundamental truth that the wise ancients already knew. True strength is and found in external circumstances, but in the unyielding work you do on yourself. Imagine a person. Let's call them Alex. Alex dreamed of a bright future, full of accomplishments and satisfaction. They wanted to learn new skills, improve their health, build meaningful relationships. What are you controlling right now? Your complaints about traffic or your decision to use that time to listen to an educational podcast, someone's unfair criticism, or your choice not to let that criticism define your worth. Alex faced projects that didn't go as planned, times when their health faltered. That prosperity wasn't the absence of problems, but the persistence in overcoming them. But instead of crumbling, they remembered the Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate. You won't always be able to control the external world, but you always, and I repeat, always can control your actions, your thoughts, and your response, not in a preachy or moralistic sense, but as the practical excellence of character that leads to a flourishing life. They spoke of four cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom isn't just knowledge. It's the ability to apply that knowledge to live well, to discern what truly matters and what doesn't. We envision the entire marathon instead of focusing on the next step, the single stride. His meditations weren't meant for publication. They were his private reflections, his conversations with himself. He used them to clarify his thoughts, to remind himself of Stoic principles, to prepare for the day's challenges, and to review his actions. This isn't a morbid thought, but a profound catalyst for action and a reminder of life's preciousness. We often live as if we have an infinite supply of tomorrows, postponing our dreams, delaying reconciliation, putting off the work that truly matters. But the Stoics understood that life is finite, and this very finitude imbues every moment with immense value. When you truly grasp that your time is limited, it cuts through the trivialities. It urges you to live with purpose, to prioritize what truly counts, to express your love, and to pursue your highest calling now, not later. This awareness fuels urgency without creating anxiety, transforming procrastination into purposeful action. This practice is incredibly powerful for self-awareness. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. What went well? Where did I fall short of my own standards? What challenged me, and how did I respond? What could I do better tomorrow? This isn't about self-condemnation, but about honest assessment and continuous improvement. It's your personal laboratory for growth, where you can refine your character and sharpen your mind. Epictetus famously advised, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This is a powerful call to identity-based action. Don't just say, I want to be fit. Say, I am a fit person, and a fit person takes a walk today. Don't just say, I want to be a writer. Say, I am a writer, and a writer writes a paragraph today. Define who you aspire to be, and then take the small, consistent actions that align with that identity. The identity shapes the action, and the action reinforces the identity, creating a powerful feedback loop for personal growth. Justice is treating others fairly and acting in alignment with the good of humanity. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to do what's right even when it's difficult or scary. It's about the daily grind, the small, unnoticed efforts that compound over time. Think of a sculptor. They don't just wave a hand and create a masterpiece. They chip away, patiently, persistently, removing what is unnecessary, shaping what remains. You are that sculptor, and your life is your masterpiece. Every decision to get up early, every choice to resist temptation, every moment you choose reason over emotion, these are the subtle chisels that shape your character. The beauty is just in the final form, but in the tireless, dedicated effort of the artist. And temperance, or self-control, is the mastery over our desires and impulses, ensuring we act with balance and reason. When you commit to these virtues, every action you take becomes a step towards a life of purpose and peace. Regardless of the external chaos, we chase titles, possessions, applause, believing these things will make us happy or complete. But the Stoics warned against this illusory pursuit. If your goal is simply to be a more diligent worker, a more patient parent, a more honest friend, these are goals entirely within your control. You don't need a promotion, a perfect child, or unanimous approval to achieve them. You only need your consistent effort and your unwavering commitment to your own principles. This shift in focus is revolutionary. It moves you from being a passenger in a boat tossed by external waves to becoming the captain, charting your course by the stars of your own character, even if the sea around you is turbulent. This internal alignment is the bedrock of true self-mastery and lasting fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius consistently reminded himself in his meditations that external things are indifferent. They can neither add to nor subtract from our true happiness, which resides solely in our virtue and our actions. It involves taking a moment to consider the misfortunes that could befall you: losing your job, suffering an illness, facing public criticism, even the loss of loved ones. The purpose isn't to dwell in negativity, but to mentally prepare yourself to realize that you could endure these things, and most importantly, to cultivate profound gratitude for what you have right now. When you contemplate the possibility of losing something precious, you suddenly appreciate its presence with a new intensity. This practice inoculates you against the shock of adversity and sharpens your focus on what truly matters, transforming daily complaints into moments of profound appreciation. Imagine building a magnificent house, only for it to be swept away by a flood. If your happiness was tied to that house, you'd be devastated. But if your happiness stemmed from the honest effort you put into building it, from the integrity of your work, then no flood can take that away from you. Your true worth isn't in what you own, but in who you are, in the character you cultivate with every decision and every effort. The power is in your hands. You are the forger. You are capable of much more than you imagine. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start right now, with the smallest action. Forge your will, embrace the challenges, and you will see how your inner strength becomes unbreakable. The path of self-improvement is a path of action, resilience, and profound wisdom. Start today his journey of self-forging ain't always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is. The Stoics understood this profoundly. Epictetus, himself a former slave, taught that true freedom comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from controlling our internal responses to them. He famously said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." Think about that for a moment. When you face a setback at work, a conflict in a relationship, or a challenge with your health, that's not just an unfortunate event. It's a mirror. It reflects your true character. Are you someone who crumbles under pressure, or someone who rises to the occasion? Are you a victim of circumstance, or a master of your own will? Every single difficulty is an opportunity disguised as a problem, a chance to test your mettle and reveal the resilience you already possess. Embrace these moments, for they are the very fire that hardens your resolve, not as passive resignation, but as active acceptance and a transformative force. When a plan failed, Alex didn't lament, but asked, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this obstacle as an opportunity to grow, to be more resourceful, more resilient?" The obstacle wasn't a wall, it was a springboard. Epictetus put it this way: "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will be happy." This doesn't mean being indifferent, but being unbreakable. It means that no matter what life throws at you, your spirit won't break, but will grow stronger. True freedom begins when you stop investing your energy in the uncontrollable and redirect it towards the only thing you can truly shape: yourself. Always ask yourself, is this under my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, then act. That's the essence of self-improvement, of transformation. But, like many of us, Alex often found themselves trapped in a cycle of inaction. They understood that action is the engine of inspiration, not the other way around. Seneca, another great Stoic, clearly told us, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." How many times have we put something off because it seemed like a monumental task? But that mountain, like any great achievement, is made of small rocks. And the only way to move it is by moving the first rock. Alex started with the minimum viable action. Instead of promising to study for hours, they promised to open the book. Instead of planning an exhausting workout routine, they committed to putting on their workout clothes. And, little by little, that small spark ignited a fire. Consistency, not intensity, is what builds character. Each small victory fueled the next, creating unstoppable momentum. They spent hours worrying about what they couldn't control: the global economy, the decisions of others, the weather. They lamented their circumstances, procrastinated on important tasks, and felt life passing them by while they remained in the same place. "Why even try?" they'd say. "There's always something holding me back, always an obstacle that seems insurmountable." In a world that often pushes us to seek solutions outside of ourselves, I want to invite you to look inward, to the most genuine source of power you possess: your capacity for action, your unwavering will, your choice of how to face each day. Let me begin with a story, one that connects us to that universal struggle between inertia and progress. And this is where Stoic wisdom, reaching us from figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, illuminates our path. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, constantly reminded us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Alex felt overwhelmed not by the magnitude of their dreams, but by their own thoughts about the obstacles. Stoicism teaches us the dichotomy of control. We can control our actions, our attitudes, our reactions, but we cannot control most external events. Frustration and anxiety arise when we confuse these two spheres. When Alex focused on the economy or what others thought, they felt powerless. When they focused on their decision to study an hour more each day or go for a walk, they regained their power. It's not about ignoring problems, but about directing your energy with laser precision. Alex began to apply this. They didn't suddenly feel motivated. Motivation found them along the way, and challenges, inevitably, arrived. Moments of doubt, failure, unexpected setbacks. Alex became a true self-forger. They understood that perfection wasn't the goal, but the constant act of working, learning, adapting. Your life is your masterpiece, and you are the artist. One of the greatest traps we fall into is the pursuit of external validation. This brings us to the importance of virtue, which for the Stoics was the sole true good. Think about the profound liberation that comes from understanding this. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, might seem grim, but it's incredibly empowering. Procrastination, that insidious thief of dreams, often stems from an overestimation of the task's difficulty or an underestimation of our own capacity. Another vital Stoic tool is journaling, particularly in the style of Marcus Aurelius. The pursuit of excellence is not about achieving perfection, but about the process of becoming. Finally, remember the concept of memento mori. Remember that you will die.